Hello again, everyone. I think a couple of days ago, some people asked for some tips as far as shading was concerned. I'm not sure if they meant stamped images or die-cut images or what, I don't know. But today I thought I'd just do a little quick video on using alcohol markers. So a couple of things to bear in mind if you're kind of new to this. A, you need the right kind of ink. B, you need the right kind of paper. I've made mistakes in both over the years. When I first started stamping, all I used was StazOn. But if you try and use alcohol inks with StazOn, it smudges, and I was desperate. I didn't know what to do. A friend said to me, use Memento if you're going to use alcohol markers. That is a solvent ink. This will dissolve them, so just use the right ink. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the sort of surface that you're going to stamp onto. I once bought a box of white card, and I just got into alcohol markers, and I was doing really well, I thought, with colouring, and I just couldn't do it with this card. And the trouble was, it was too absorbent. The colour sank into the card. Tried to put the next colour on, and I couldn't blend them because the first one had sunk in and I couldn't blend the two inks together. So that's another thing. So the right surface, the right ink, and we should be away. Anyway, here's a little stamp. This is just from this Open Studio set memory box, and it's this little sprig of leaves here. So I'm going to, well, I could use either of these really. This one is this is a hybrid ink. It's a crossover, and so should be used for, you know, all sorts of different things. So let's just try this. I was going to use the Memento, but we'll try this one, see how we go. And with stamping with an acrylic block, if you just stamp it down, lift it up, you may not get all the ink transferred to the card. You need to leave it just a little minute to transfer. If you've got a stamping platform, you can lift it, stamp it again, until you've got the, you know, the finish that you want. But that's lovely. That is lovely. Okay, so I've just got a few markers here. I got the light one out because I was just trying to explain to myself that, yes, you will smudge if you use one of these, a light colour particularly, on StazOn. So I'm going to start off with just using one marker, because these are not cheap, I have to say, and if you want to build up your supply, sometimes you have to do it slowly. So if you've only got one, then you can make an attempt at shading with just the one marker. So let's just try this. So to start with, I'm just going to go over the veins like this, or just to one side of the vein. The other thing about very absorbent card too is you might find that you get bleeding outside your image. So that's another thing to be wary of, really. Okay, just going to do a little bit round the edge. Both sides. Right, now I'm going to emphasize this corner a bit more, going over, and with subsequent layers the colour intensifies. So now I've gone all over, but I'm going to go back where I first went. Do you see? You can add layers to that area. So even though I'm only using one stamp, you can see there is a lighter area and a deeper area. So you can just do that. Okay? Right. Now I'm going to try with two colours. So I'm going to start, I think I'll start with the darkest, and I'll go to the next leaf, and I'm going to do what I did with the other one. I'm just going to go over the veins, or to one side of the vein, and a little bit of intensity in this bottom corner. Okay, now I'm going to go to the lighter one again, and I'm going to go all over where I've been already, plus the rest of it. Okay. Hope you can actually see this. I'll have to see what I can do. Now, what we have to do is to just keep going over those two sets of colours until the line of the darker one is slightly blurred. You see? It's altogether darker than that one because there's a darker pigment in this one. So the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to add the very, very lightest one, but I'm not going to put it on first. I'm going to try and take a bit of colour away with that. So I'll start with my dark one again. I'll try and be a little bit more delicate with this one. This is, I think they call it a bullet tip, do they call it? I don't know. It's not a brush tip like a Copic marker. Okay, there's that one. Now I'm going to use the middle colour. I'm going to go over this. And what I want to do with the light one is to try and take a bit of the colour away. There we go. Let's see if we can just lighten up this bit here. Do you see? You see it lightening? The thing is just to play and have a bit of fun. But can you see? It's a different effect again. So different ways, different colours. If you do go outside the line, I haven't tried it with these markers, but the way that, I'll just try and do it now. Let me just choose a bit of this, and I'm going to go outside the line there. Right, let me just see if this will work. With the broad tip, you just push this way. This is a blender. This is an ink blender. Push towards the line. And can you see it? It is actually disappearing because this takes out the colour. Could leave that to dry. And sometimes what you can do, if you want to emphasise some colouring that you've done, is to use a pale colour. This is feather grey. And you can just put a little line around the outside of your colouring, and that just helps to highlight it a little. Do you see? Just around the outside like this. You can feather it in, you can blend it out with your blender. But when it comes to, I won't do it now because I need to wait until that is dry, but if there is a tiny hint of colour there, if you're doing this highlighting or backlighting, low light, I don't know what you call it really, just shading around the image just to make it stand out, when you get to this bit, if you go over that bit, that won't show so much, but at the minute it's still wet, so it will need time to dry out. Okay, short and sweet. I hope it's been a bit of help, but several ways. One colour, two colours, well, three shades.
I didn't catch that.
Oh,
Could
for
you try again?
goodness sake. Oh dear, you always make me jump, Mr. Siri. So I'll try again. One colour, two colours, three colours, with the fourth is the grey around the edge to highlight. And if you do make a mistake, you can try and push it back with a blending pen. Thanks so much for watching.